We had a gentleman on the podcast and he was a CISO. So he was chief security officer at his company. And he said, Steve, when I came into this role, the number one thing I did, number one thing was assess the culture of the team and then the culture of the company. And he said, it's so important because we have to have an environment where everybody is incentivized to collaborate. There is psychological safety in doing so and airing ideas and opinions. It's just without that, what kind of creativity and productivity and tenure retention am I going to have? So it's literally the number one thing that I do. And we've talked to other technology leaders. I've talked to CROs and CMOs, and they attribute company culture to over 50% of the success of the business. So in your role, you've got obviously ties to company culture and your own team culture. And so I just want to ask on your team, how do you create a team culture that fosters success? Because your team's bringing in all the people that are going to be a part of this business. How do you do that? I'd love to hear that.
I think the big thing for me, you talked about psychological safety, and that is so important as a leader of a team within a company that people feel like they can talk about their wins, their challenges, and they can also feel comfortable talking about their mistakes. Because if you can't, to me, that's not my team feeling inclusive. That's them holding back. And I hope they would agree with this, that I'm a very inclusive leader. I'm very open. I'm very transparent. I want to hear all the feedback. I need an open feedback loop. Because if I don't hear feedback, I can't become a better leader. So during the pandemic, it was really hard. It was like spinning plates. This is my analogy. It was like spinning plates with my team. I had a large team at the time. We were hiring like crazy. I needed to make sure that they felt that they were part of something. Because really, when you think about it, during that time, work was really a huge part of what we had. And it was all like this. It was all over camera. So maybe I put too many meetings on the calendar just to connect with everyone, just to make sure everyone was doing okay. We were highly successful in our hiring during that period. And I'd like to think that I kept my team close and comfortable because everything around us was falling apart.
Yeah, it was such an interesting time. What is culture when it's all over Zoom or Teams?
About connectivity, again, it's about having the autonomy to use your voice because I realize now it's so hard to really feel someone's energy compared to when I go into the office now and the energy of a room full of people is very different to a room of Zoom heads, torso. So during that time or working remotely, I think it's about feeling comfortable to have your voice. And as I mentioned earlier, it's about voicing your successes and voicing your failures and voicing your concerns. To me, that's leadership. That's where it comes from.